So the Hungarian Grand Prix of 2025. Fair to say this one was very much a slow burn. Not too much happening early on, but as the strategies played out in the final stint of the race around the Hungaroring really kicked into life. So as always, guys, I'm here to look at the 5 things that we learned, the 5 main highlights from this race. So let's start with Charles Leclerc here, because he put an incredible pole position lap in on Saturday. Unbelievable performance by him. I don't think anybody was expecting that. I expected him very much to drop back behind the McLaren during this race, and it eventually happened, but it took a long time to happen. He kept the lead through the first and the second stint, almost everybody at the front going for a 2-stop race, there being one very notable exception to that, and we will get onto that as we go through this, guys. But yeah, Charles Leclerc was looking great. He was, of course, though, complaining about clipping, I think, or something like that, some sort of problem, presumably with his engine, being told to basically lift and coast because of some kind of engine management, the temperature of it going too high. Not sure what the problem really was. Ferrari not really elaborating much on that, unfortunately, but the end result was that he lost pace in the final stint. He was passed by Oscar Piastri out on track, he was passed by George Russell out on track, and he actually got a penalty as well very late on because of some of the defensive moves that he was putting on George Russell. The first one was borderline, the second one though was over the line at penalty late on. It doesn't change his finishing position, he still finishes in P4, but of course officially on the timing he will finish a bit further back than what he did. Long way ahead of 5th place though, we'll talk about 5th very soon. Good day though for George Russell. Like I said, he got a podium finish today. It looked like it wasn't going to be on, like he was going to get 4th place today. That top 4 group today really was in a league of its own, especially through the first 2/3 of the race. Russell, Leclerc and the 2 McLarens both being well clear of the 5th place man during this one. But Russell, decent job today, put an impressive move in on Charles Leclerc to get 3rd place early on. He kept Lando Norris behind him as well early on in this one. So yeah, really solid day for George Russell, and picks up a podium for his trouble as well. Good day at the office for him. Not so much for Kimi Antonelli, who finished in 10th place. This one he was not very impressive, unfortunately, for him, but he gets a point at least, which is something, because he's not been getting many points recently, has Antonelli. But yeah, let's speak about Gabriel Bortoleto. I didn't mention him in my qualifying review. It was hard to kind of summarize everything that's happening in qualifying. Some real surprisingly good performances and surprisingly bad performances. Bortoleto, very much one of the surprisingly good performances, started in P7 and he moved up to P6 in this one. Fantastic for him. He overtook Lando Stroll early on in this one and just basically ran his own race from there. Looked really solid. One stop during this one. I could be wrong with that, but just basically ran his own race. Was very solid, was very comfortable. Looked like a seasoned pro out there. But of course, this is his rookie season and his highest finish yet to boot as well. Big points for Sauber. They close up on Williams. Williams did not score any points during this race, so they very much do have a chance right now of getting 5th in the Constructors' Championship. A top half finish for Sauber. It could happen. It's unlikely, but it could well happen. Nico Hülkenberg, day to forget for him, unfortunately, his teammate, well down the order, got a penalty for a false start. It wasn't very obvious that he actually got out of his pit box. I couldn't really tell from the onboard, but with all the data and lasers and stuff like that they got to measure these things these days, all the sensors and everything like that, I do think that they will be accurate on that one, the stewards. But yeah, let's speak about his manager next, the guy that actually finished ahead of him, Fernando Alonso. I've been holding off on this for quite some time. P5 for him, really impressive. Again, just ran his own race, got the 1 stop, solid as a rock, despite the back pain he was having throughout this weekend, despite doubts that he might actually not be able to compete in this one. The 44-year-old picks up 10 points for Aston Martin. That is massive for them in the Constructors. Lando Stroll as well, I think he finished in P7, if do correct me if I'm incorrect with that one, guys, but yeah, actually looked pretty good this race. He was very solid in my opinion with Stroll during this one. Really good points on the board for Aston Martin. I think they probably will move up a few positions in the Constructors' Championship for that. But who won the race? I've not mentioned him in detail yet. Of course, it's one of the McLaren guys. It looked as though it was going to be Oscar Piastri potentially during this one. He was the closest guy to Charles Leclerc. He ran the 2-stop though, but his teammate Lando Norris, he went different. He ran the 1-stop. People talk about Lando Norris being a bottle job. He threw it away at Belgium and wasn't good enough. He's a failure. All this and that. People love to bring him down. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but he really showed his quality today, in my opinion. Absolutely. Ran the alternative strategy. He soaked up all the pressure from Piastri. He didn't put a wheel wrong in that second stint, which of course covered the majority of the race for him. He was fantastic today, and he closes down that gap to 9 points in the championship. He really laid down a marker today, and he goes into that summer break on a high. And of course, we go to the Netherlands next, where he absolutely dominated the race 12 months ago. So Lando Norris looking strong right now, but that is 200 wins in Formula 1 for McLaren as well. They look strong. They've won the Constructors' Championship at this point. forget about anybody catching them. And another 1-2 finish. Is that 4 1-2 finishes in a row? 5 1-2 finishes in the last 6 races. I think if I've got my stats all correct, I think it is that for them. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant for McLaren. Piastri, he'll be annoyed with himself. He did everything right. You know, he went for the 2-stop, but it just wasn't the strategy today. The 1-stop today was quicker, because as we see around Hungary so much, track position is absolutely crucial. And if you don't make a mistake, it's going to be impossible for anybody to overtake you. And so it proved. Piastri did everything he could. He tried dive bombs. He tried just waiting behind and trying to go into the second braking zone and try and get past Lando Norris. Lando Norris, though, he held firm. And he absolutely deserves this win. Well done, Lando. But yeah, guys, what do you think about this race overall? For me, the first half, not really too much to write about, to be honest with you. If you're watching this race as a replay, basically you can skip out anything from, about lap 3 to lap 45. But after that, absolute banger of a race. I really enjoyed the last stint of this one. Very entertaining stuff. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below on this one, guys. Rate it out of 10. Who was your driver of the day today? For me, without a doubt, Gabriel Bortoleto. Fantastic. Driving like a seasoned pro. And he's a rookie, of course. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see more of this. And have a fantastic day around the world today, guys. See you very soon.